Egypt, it's calling many souls to its sacred land and magical temples. And perhaps if you are watching this video, you are also being called to this beautiful and magical land. My name is Katherine. I am a soul mentor, a spiritual teacher, and also someone who answered this beautiful calling, this inner calling to go to Egypt. In this video, I share with you 5 tips to help you plan a magical trip to Egypt. Tip number 1, exchange your money for the local currency, which is Egyptian pounds. So as soon as you get there, make sure you have some Egyptian pounds on you because you're gonna need them. Egypt has a culture of tipping. So everyone there expects you to give them some money if they provide a service for you. That can be like opening the door, showing you a secret spot, or maybe just carrying your luggage, or even just cleaning after you. So everyone there expects you to give them some money. And like I said, this is just a culture. It is very important to be aware of that so you don't be surprised. And I know it can be very inconvenient and frustrating to go through all of that because people will be asking you for money all the time. So my biggest advice for you is to have small bills in your pocket. Anything between 5 and 50 Egyptian pounds should do it. So it will really depends on what kind of service a person provides to you, so you know exactly how much to tip them. I would say 5 Egyptian pounds, it's a good way to start, but you can also measure your level of satisfaction with a person, right? So it is not something that it is required for you to do, but it's highly recommend. And the way that people approach you, you're gonna be sure that you want to give them something. So just keep that in mind and just know that this is the culture of the place, and it is very important to be aware of that and also to be prepared. And another thing to keep in mind, since we are talking about money and we can get that out of the way, so it is very important to have some kind of a currency exchange app, or maybe just like a web browser where you can check how much is your money worth there. So technically right now, $1 is worth about 2019 Egyptian pounds. So it is very common to get confused when you are shopping around trying to get gifts or maybe to tip someone. So if you have an app, you can right away just go in the app and just make the conversion to make sure you are not being charged a lot for just a small gift. So I would highly recommend for you to either get an app or do a little research about how you're gonna be spending your money there. So, and just to keep in mind, another way to shop in Egypt is to always look around first. After like a few days in Egypt, you're gonna find out that most people are trying to sell you the same thing over and over and over again. So make sure you shop around, go around first. You're gonna have many opportunities to shop, so don't try to go right away and buy the first thing. So make sure you shop around so you can have a good experience. And another important thing is also to feel the energy of the place and the person that is trying to sell you, because I'm sure you want to bring home a piece of art that also has a good energy attached to it. So every time someone trying to sell you something, make sure to feel the energy of the person, the space, and also of the art itself. Tip number 2, the best spiritual practice to try. Egypt, for sure, it's becoming a popular destination for spiritual awakening. But if you go there, you're gonna soon figure it out that it's a place with lots of noises, a lot of tourists, a lot of sales people everywhere you go. And it is very hard, and it can be a challenge to find a place where you can actually meditate and feel the energy of the land. So my best advice for you. And actually, the most beautiful experience I had while I was there was to wake up early in the morning, watch the sunrise, and do a morning meditation. It is magical, magical, and it is the best time to meditate. Most of people are sleeping. You cannot hear a lot of noises from the street, especially if you are in Cairo. This is the best time to meditate. So make sure you try that out, and also make sure you watch the birds. They are magical. They have a lot to teach you. So I highly recommend for you to do your morning meditation before you go out there and explore the temples, the people, and the lands. And also, another tip that I have around the spiritual practice is for you to journal every day. Every day, take maybe 5 to 10 minutes, or maybe more than that. I'm sure you're gonna have a lot to write, and journal about your experience. And also allow yourself to integrate everything. Yes, you're gonna have a lot to integrate. It is a lot of energy. It is a strong energy there. So you wanna make sure you set some time for you to relax. And for those of you who are looking for some kind of advanced practice, I would highly recommend for you to try 1 day of silence, just like not talking to anyone. I know that can be a challenge. I did it for 2 days. It was a challenge, but the benefits that I got from it, and all the insights and all the healing, it was so worth it. If you are traveling solo, it is almost impossible to do that, but I would highly recommend for you to do it. And when I say to try a silence day, it's not for you to not to allow people to talk to you. So people can still talk to you because they will, but it's just for you not to interact with them. And you can either place your hands on your heart, and most people will understand. If they don't, just walk away, but I would highly recommend for you to try it out, or maybe just for a couple of hours, and allow yourself to only listen to the wisdom of the land and also your own heart. And another practice for advanced people is to try to fast. Just fasting for a few hours or up to 6 hours, 8 hours. This is something that I recommend, but of course you have to check on your health issues and also talk to your doctor. But if you allow yourself to fast, if you listen to your body and your body say, yes, I am ready for this experience, this is another healing practice that will help you integrate and also to soak in all the energy of Egypt. Tip number 3, avoid unsolicited approaches. Like I said in the beginning, people try to sell you everything anywhere you go. And one thing that is very common there is people that try to take you to a special place, and usually it is inside a temple. They will approach you and say, would you like to pray? Would you like to meditate? And they would just try to drag you to this special place. And then if you say yes and you accept, at this point, they don't say anything that they're gonna charge you, but at this point, you just walk with them. They're gonna show you a special place. They're gonna allow you to meditate or pray for just maybe 5 minutes at most, and then they're gonna ask you for money. So I would highly recommend for you to avoid any kind of approaches like that, because I don't think it comes from a place of love. I don't think it comes from a place that a person is trying to help you. Of course, there are people out there with such a big heart. And if you feel the calling that the person is trying to help you, just go for it. But most of the time, they're just trying to get money out of you. So keep that in mind. And another tip to help, especially women, to avoid those kind of attentions is to make sure you dress appropriately. Egypt is a Muslim country. Right now, there is no regulations around how to dress for tourists, but for most temples, right? But it is a good thing to keep in mind for you to respect the culture and the religion. So make sure you cover your shoulders and your legs. If you don't do that, if you walk away with a short dress with those beautiful summer clothing, you're gonna draw a lot of attention to yourself from the locals. And the way they look at you is just like you are either a walking ATM, or you are something really sexy that they never saw before. So I don't think you want any of those attention to be drawn to you. All right, tip number 4, be aware of what you eat and drink. It is very possible that you get some kind of food or water contamination. So it's very important to know where you are eating and what kind of water you are drinking. So I would highly recommend for you not to eat, or maybe try to avoid raw foods like salads and fruits that maybe they were not washed properly. So make sure you wash them before you eat, and make sure only to drink bottle of water. And it's also important to check the seal of the water if you are buying from a street person, because it can be just like tap water. So just be aware of that. And if you are going for a spiritual journey there, you don't want to eat meat all day long. And also, to be honest with you, I don't think it is a good idea to eat meat while you are there if you are going for something like spiritual. And the good news is that most of Egyptian food is vegetarian. And the food is really good. If you are vegan, I'm not really sure, but I'm sure there are ways to go around it. Like I said, you can go to the market and just shop for foods that is more aligned with what you eat. But I'm sure there are vegan restaurants there. To be honest with you, most of the restaurants that I went, they are mostly vegetarians, or either just like a regular restaurant. And like I said, they have plenty of vegetarian options. And if for some reason you get sick, and if you get some kind of diarrhea or some kind of stomach issue, one thing that I would recommend and that I would like to share with you is that if the diarrhea doesn't come with pain of any other symptoms like fever or chills of any other thing, it's just like this purging of coming out of you. If it is something like that, just like a purging, maybe it is a cleansing process that you are going through. It is very likely that you are going through a cleansing process while you are in Egypt, whether that is a physical cleansing, a spiritual cleansing, or maybe a mental one. So make sure if you get some kind of like a physical cleansing, just talk to your body and see what is this symptom is trying to teach me, what is my body is trying to show it to me, and just sit with that for a moment and just realize that everything happens for a reason. And if you continue to take care of your body, trying to meditate, trying to be in your own space while you are experiencing this energy around you, I'm sure you're gonna be fine. And my last tip number 5, allow yourself to be surprised by the magic of Egypt, and don't create any expectations about it. Egypt is a magical place, and the energy there is crazy. It is so powerful, magical, and gentle at the same time. So allow yourself to be guided by this beautiful energy and all the wisdom of the land, instead of just trying to guide the experience yourself. If you are ready, when you are ready, the land, the energy will show you everything that you need to see. So you don't have to create a massive plan or expectation inside your mind, because what is yours will come to you. And when you are in Egypt, everything happens in a way that is really magical, really fast, really surprising. So allow yourself to feel this magic within you. And I'm sure if you follow all my tips and also do your own research around how to plan a magical trip to Egypt, you're gonna have an awesome and magical experience. And as I am continue to integrate my recent trip to Egypt, I would make more videos around this topic, just because I want people to actually go there and have an experience, a beautiful experience, just like I did. I didn't have any issues with Egypt. None of the things that I talked that could happen happened to me. I was guided, I was supported, and I felt that everyone was just trying to help me. So I'm really, really grateful for this land, and that's why I feel guided to share a little bit of my journey with you. And if for some reason you like to receive a written copy of this guide, that is a link below for you to be more convenient for you to follow the tips. And also, like I said before, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that it's more videos coming up. And mahalo for watching, and I hope to see you soon.